Whoop, 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 whoop. New show alert. New show alert.
New show alert.
New show. Who dis? Who
Get
did?
ready for an exciting new theme song. Oh, wait, it's not finished.
Fuck you. We decided to do this show like last week, and I've got a life to live. I've got a motherfucking life to live.
What life do you have? You're in the middle of quarantine. You can't fuck anyone. You're in your apartment just staring at the wall. What else can you do?
I can wash dishes. That's it. And I can make food.
I just got it real for Poodle.
Maybe it did hit a little too close to home. No, I'm doing Noom. I'm like mindful all the time about like what I'm eating and making my own food, and I enjoy Noom. I do like it. Although, you know what? I should not do my own thing. I should take my own advice because they're not promoting us right now. So I should say a fucking word.
I wasn't going to say a word about it.
But you know what? I did it on my own thing. It's not like you who get something and then they stop promoting us and you fucking try to promote them.
Well, if I still like them, I still love
my sex worker saying, "Sure, I'll let you have one for free."
I still like my Aurora bed.
Stop it! They are not our sponsors
They sponsored
anymore.
us for a little bit. They gave me a bed.
And for that, and when they give me another bed, then we can start talking about it. But you stole it away from me, so that's fine. But that's
you have a Tempur-Pedic, and I had a nasty ass mattress from Leeds that I bought when I moved to LA.
Or your mattress is free. Your mattress has crabs.
Practically.
This is Summer House. This is Reality Gaze presents Summer House.
Summer House. Summer House. That's not the theme song.
That's not the theme song.
But it could be.
No, I already know what it is, and I'm about halfway through it.
What's that original song? Isn't it some dum da da dum dum? What is that song?
It's some summertime,
summertime. Summertime.
It was a big leap.
Well, I'm sucking dick in the summertime. I'm gonna suck that dick. It's gonna be so fine. I'm gonna suck that dick.
That's not how the
suck
song
that dick
goes.
tonight.
I think I just combined another song.
You did. You just made up a song about dicks.
Y'all, this is Reality Gaze, and if you're a new listener, you've already switched off.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
If you came here because you're a big Summer House fan and thought this was going to be a straight ahead recap, you may want to turn the dial.
You may want to hold on to your fuck machine because it's gonna tip over.
I think, give us a shot. This is our first kind of foray into the Bravo universe.
Exactly. My name is Matt Marr, aka Poodle calls me Maddie, and my co-host is the lovely, the wonderful, the aqua-eyed vixen, Jake Anthony, aka known as Poodle.
I think my eyes are more aquamarine than aqua.
That is so fucking gay that you corrected me saying that your eyes are aqua.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
Wow.
I sound very masculine today.
You do sound a little bit like a drag queen at a 3 a.m. shift.
I know. I've been talking a lot today.
That is what it is.
I know.
You just that's your moneymaker, your talk box.
I just feel husky.
Hey, I almost made a joke, but no.
Don't ever make a joke about husky weight ever. Yeah, we're the boys. We're the boys who had to have husky sizes.
There's the boys of summer. We're the boys of In and Out. The boys of Burger King. There we are. There we are.
Oh, I want chicken fries.
Oh, I love chicken fries, y'all. We normally recap 90 Day Fiancé. We do other stuff kind of on a whim.
We love After Lockup as well on our Patreon. Yeah. But we started out with 90 Day Fiancé. We're formerly called Reality Gaze until Discovery.
Yeah, we're
formerly called 90 Day Fiancé.
No, we're formally. Did you drink too much?
We're formally referred to as 90 Day Gaze.
Jesus.
This is in the middle of the day. I'm just flummoxed.
But now we're called reality gays. So anyway, welcome. We've also done, we shouldn't say no Bravo. We've done Southern Charm on another podcast feed called Sweet Tea. And we will, that finale the reunion just dropped. I've got to drop that episode. We'll drop. And then, but we'll move that over when that comes back to this feed. Anyway. All right, y'all, we were lubed and primed and ready to go because if you haven't listened already, we already did an interview with Hannah and Paige
of the Giggly Squad.
That's their podcast, the Giggly Squad. So we already did an interview.
They are wonderful. We had a blast with them.
Super fun time. They're really good at keeping their mouths shut about what we're going to see.
I know.
Weren't they
really were.
Because I did not realize that Hannah was already going to be this fucking dickmatized by Luke. She did not let on to that in our interview, did she not?
I know she did not. They kind of kept it real. They didn't tell anybody. They were very tight-lipped. Even Paige was tight-lipped about whether she's going to have a relationship, and she can't really talk about her relationship status right now because the show has to air. So
yeah,
but they were great. They were great. We had a good time.
That would be Poodle's dream, to be on a show where he can't talk about his relationship status. And every time he fucks a guy, he's like,
Don't you want to know?
Can I call you again? And you said, sure. Are you dating someone? I can't talk about
I can't talk about it. I'm filming a show.
Contractual. That's his excuse that he would use for like 10 years.
They're like, so are you fucking someone else or aren't you? I'm sorry. Contractually obligated. I'm so sorry. Oh, it's a really bad. The NDR is really bad. It's really bad for them. NDA. I'm sorry, I said NDR.
NDR. Whatever. What the hell is NDR? What the shit is that?
Speaking of, the Super Bowl's coming up this weekend. Who's ready?
Who gives a shit about the Super Bowl?
I didn't know who was playing. You know who I did know? You know what I did know though?
What?
2 hot quarterbacks were in it. Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes. That's the only thing I knew. I didn't know whose teams were playing.
You knew more than me. You know, I only know the Chiefs are playing because my nephew Cody is really into them. And unfortunately, we're going to have a Super Bowl party house at my dad's. And by party, we're listening to Dr. Fauci. Basically,
COVID deniers.
I have one cousin who is basically like my sister, who's their family. They've all had it, so they have antibodies. The 4 of them are coming over. So it's going to be very small, but the people we've kind of quarantined with.
As long as you can make excuses for yourself, I'm sure it's fine.
No, I'm just letting, because y'all, if you're having a big Super Bowl party.
By the way, his father has cancer, I should mention.
Poodle thinks it's fake. I let my dad listen to some of the podcasts, and he looked up at me and he said, Jake's a bitch. And I said, yeah, he is.
All I said was, I don't know how real any of this is. Because I've never really, because your father's looked pretty well every time I've seen him.
That's
as
true.
Well as I've never seen a medical report. Well, you could be at the airport like La Quinta, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I wasn't able to go into the hospital when he was on life support on a ventilator. But next time I can go in there, I'll send you a video. Yeah, let me get right on that.
Like pose real close with him and smile.
Let me like sneak into the hospital in a nurse's outfit with bad makeup, like an 80s sitcom, just to take a fucking picture.
I would love that.
You know what? I kind of would too now. Not that he would be in a ventilator, but just to wear a nurse's outfit and be undercover. Oh,
I think to be in the 80s and to dress up, to be undercover or like a sitcom is something I was born to do. To creep around corners. It's like, hello, I am Mrs. McGillicuddy. It's so good to be here at your school.
It's true. This is true. I agree with this.
Let's talk about Summer House. Let's dig in.
All right, y'all.
We did mention before we started.
Oh, Jesus.
Before we start, we thought we were going to put this in our Patreon, but it turns out we did some thinking and we kind of want our first real big Bravo experience. We did Southern Charm, but it wasn't on our feed. But our first kind of reality gaze Bravo experience to be accessible to all. So we are putting this on our free feed. So there will be no walls between you and our show.
There won't. Now, if you join the Patreon thinking
for Summer House,
don't just hold your breath. Things are coming.
Things are coming. And if you did, you can send us a message that says, or you can send us a message saying, I really did this. I really did, in all honesty, join for Summer House. And if you did, one of us will contact you and we'll talk to you about that.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But
more stuff is coming.
We can, I don't like to say this word, the R word, because Poodle hates it, but we can refund your money.
If you want, there's a stitch in my side every time you say that word.
What? We can totally refund your money.
Yeah, fine. We will refund your money. If you wanted Summer House and that's the only thing you wanted, we will totally refund your money. God, I need mouthwash.
Hold your breath. Announcement to come next week.
There is another show that will be replacing.
There will be replacing about. So, what will it be? What will it be? What's coming for me?
What will this show be like? I wonder. Oh, now I'm thinking about Christopher Plummer, who passed.
Oh, he's dead. He died. It's very sad. The captain is gone.
He was like 90-something, so he lived a good life.
He's 91.
Oldest person to ever win an Oscar. Like, in other words, he won it late.
Oh, yeah. Good for him.
For beginners. The gay movie.
Was it good?
I never saw it. I'm like, he's gay and he's old. Ew. I'm like an old gay guy.
Oh, I would totally fuck what's his name, Gandalf for us.
It's like 70.
Ian McKellen.
You would not fuck Ian McKellen.
Yes, I would in a second.
No, I think that's a whole other level of fetishism.
No, I don't think it's like that. I think he's a beautiful man. I think I would totally get into it.
No, not for me.
Or him. He's not gay. Or Patrick Stewart. You wouldn't have sex with Patrick Stewart?
Patrick Stewart is completely different than Ian McKellen. But I would bang Patrick Stewart.
Or like, he's not as old, but what's his name? Stanley Tucci. Get into it.
Okay, no, these are not comparable. Stanley Tucci and Ian McKellen. Your vocabulary for older men who may or may not be gay needs to be enlarged.
Kevin Kline.
Oh no, all of those are bangable. I'm sorry, I just say no to Ian McKellen. I don't want to bang him.
You shall have ass.
Can we please start the show?
Let's finally start the show.
What else were we something else?
No, I think that's it, y'all. So be sure to jump into that. And we've got if you're new to the show, we do Love After Lockup.
If you're new to the show, you can see it's quite well produced.
Let's jump into Summer House.
So we thought we'd just describe characters a little bit. First of all, we have Kyle and Amanda. Basically, know that Kyle was kind of the nucleus of the group. Kyle and Lindsay were kind of the nucleus. They've been at 5 seasons, or 4 previous seasons, and Kyle and Lindsay were the kind of nucleus who were going the same summer share every summer. If you don't know what a summer share is, basically, it sounds really fucking elite, but follow this. They rent a house every weekend. They're most of the time they're living in New York City, and every weekend they go to fucking Montauk, basically the Hamptons. So
they went. They called it Montauk on the first season, and then the second one they totally just changed it to the Hamptons
because it's not really in Montauk. That's why. No. But so that's kind of dispensable income. So it must be nice. Anyway, it's the same thing like with gay men with Fire Island who have a summer share. But a lot of times with gay guys, you don't really have a bed. You just sleep whatever bed you find yourself into.
It's true.
They
tried to do Fire Island, but it just didn't work the same.
You mean Summer House Fire Island?
Well, when they did that show that we recapped.
Oh, you mean, the
Fire Island. It was called Fire Island.
No, it's something Fire Island. I can't remember.
Who cares?
I don't know. Who gives a shit? We had a really good time. Remember Paul Bunyan?
Yeah, we did. So Kyle he was one of the OGs as well as Lindsay. And then kind of on the way it usually works in this is that someone knows someone or at least this is the way they produce it. Someone knows someone that brings someone into the new person into the house each season. Like for instance, Luke brings Sierra into the house this season. But
it's like when you have to do contract tracing for an STD. You're like, I fucked that guy, who fucked that guy, who fucked that guy, who fucked those 7 guys.
That neighbor, fucked him. So anyway, so yes, Kyle's like this bro. He's very
kind of fratty, built, very, very fratty. For me, for my money, he's obnoxious, and a lot of people love him. I feel
that way too.
He's a very sensitive person. He's always on. He's an entrepreneur.
He's always on.
He's a bro-trepreneur, so you can just say what you want to about that.
He's a bro-trepreneur, yes.
Yeah,
that is Kyle.
That's just his, and he basically has a kind of hard iced tea brand called Loverboy that you're going to see in every motherfucking frame.
You are.
Yeah.
Now, Amanda is his fiance. They met on season 2, I think.
They didn't meet on season 2. She's an ex-girlfriend.
But she was on season 2, right?
Yeah, but she was. I think you're right. She was on season 2 because she kept hooking up with him.
They kind of kept hooking up, and then so she came on the show, and they kept dating. Amanda, I don't know what she does for work. She's like a.
I think she's been pulled into work for Loverboy, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think that's what she does.
Yeah.
So that's kind of
the cook of the house. She kind of organizes everything. She tells people like what we're going to eat. She's kind of the mom of the house.
Yeah, agreed. And then in season 3, season 2, Carl came on, right?
No, we just need to say they got engaged. Last season. Kyle and Amanda did.
They did.
No, and season 1, Carl came on. Carl's been there all seasons.
There's been a lot of will they or won't they get married? So I think that's just going to be another big issue. That's always like a storyline
because he has in the most cheated, in the most non-admitted ways. Like people said, I hooked up with a girl. I promise I don't remember it because I was so blackout drunk.
Because he fucked a lot.
That might be a problem. This show is a hair away from needing an Al-Anon meeting.
That's true, and a sex addicts meeting. Yeah. Speaking of Al-Anon, Carl is a token fuckboy of the show.
Oh, and y'all, he is so even from the beginning, he could talk me out of my panties. Oh my god,
he is. I'm normally not as into Kyle. However, sober Kyle kind of beefed up, and
Carl.
I am.
Carl.
What did I say? Carl. Yes, Carl.
Carl, I think you're on my show. Oh, wait, it's a different one. He's not fat.
No, sober. I will say Carl looks the best he ever has. Although
he looks the best he's ever had.
I was still into drunken, toxic brat boy Carl, too.
Agreed. But his arms have kind of beefed up. Now
we're going to get your fetish for beefy guys.
Oh, I love it.
Here we go.
When a big, muscly arm's just on top of you and you're just feeling their triceps while they do their work.
I'd like to object, but you're dead on there.
Dead on. Yeah, you can't deny. And so
you're just holding on to that bit, the headboard of that bed.
And you're going, wee!
Goosh.
So Carl's had kind of a long history of really trying to, I think more than anyone, especially of the guys, trying to find his place, as Richard Marx would sing, his place in this world.
No, that's Michael W. Smith.
Same thing.
No, they're very different.
So they're trying to find his place in this world.
If you're new, basically all I do is correct Maddie.
It's true. And so they're basically with Carl, we kind of ended last year of Kyle telling him you're drinking a lot, you came to meeting drunks.
And now Carl works with
Loverboy, till we know, he kind of does sales stuff there, and that's as far as we know, that's what Carl's doing now.
This is going to be all season.
Well, you know what? They should have changed their names to make them. There should have been an Ed. There should have been a Fallon.
Don't pull over, y'all.
There should have been a Sinise.
I'm just saying you need to be super intentional about names, please. That's all I'm asking. Because you're going to confuse everyone.
You know what? Read Vulture.
You're welcome.
I'm not here for facts.
We need to get some things right. No, people are just confused because you just keep calling them the wrong names.
Anyway, so that's Carl, and let's see, Lindsay. Lindsay is a publicist. She's been around.
Wild party girl.
Wild party girl.
Yeah, she likes to drink like all the others too.
She has, she was with Carl.
Never really. No, they kind of hooked up. They're never really been together.
Oh, yes, that's what I meant. Like they've hooked up.
No, Carl's been with everybody.
Yeah, Carl's fucked everyone.
Yeah.
That's Lindsay. Lindsay is a lot about Lindsay.
Yeah. If she listens to this, I don't know. Maybe she will. Maybe she not. She's my least favorite cast member. I feel like there's constant. She kind of resembles a flightless bird to me, who's always squawking at people. Like
that makes sense.
Like hoarse voiced. What? It's
what?
This.
What?
Yeah, it's this kind of just brutality.
I have episodes where I'm like, she's great, and then I have episodes where she's wretched. So I
only have the second variety, but that's me.
That's Poodle.
Yeah.
So Danielle.
Oh, by the way, Lindsay now is engaged. They're not engaged. She's with her steady boyfriend, Stavvy.
Stavvy.
Steven. You know when they would show it, Stavvy Steven. I don't know why, but they call him Stavvy.
They do. I forgot about that. So
they've been dating for a
kind
year.
of dating, but this season he's living in the house.
And this is interesting because Lindsay usually winds up hooking up with someone every summer.
So this is an interesting. And Steven's cute. He's got a nice body. It looks like he fucks good.
Yeah, I'm not really into him either. He seems boring to me.
Really? Okay, so.
Oh no, I think I would fuck him. I'm saying.
Oh, okay,
he's greasy haired for me. I'm just like, I feel like I could get some. His hair would be greasy.
So close your eyes.
No, I know what you're gonna say. Yes, I'd let him bang me.
Okay,
I've been in quarantine forever. I would let Ian McKellen bang me. I'm going to go back on that. God.
Y'all, Jake would let that pickle from Schoolhouse Rock fucking right now. Or that Bill.
No, timer. Time for timer. A hanker for a hunk of cheese.
I'm just a bear. I'm just a regular bear. I want to fuck Poodle on Capitol Hill.
Yeah, that Bill could bang the fuck out of me. And y'all, that Bill's freaky deaky.
Freaky deaky.
Mm-hmm.
So Danielle, talk about Danielle Poodle, because I don't remember anything about her.
No, she's been around for a long time.
She has.
Before Sierra, our newest cast member, Danielle was the only diverse member of the cast. She's Latina. And Danielle is a friend of Lindsay's, and she basically is there to get dick. She's pretty upfront about that.
Her and Hannah both are very dick piggy positive.
Yeah.
So are we. Get yours.
So, and Danielle is basically what we need to know is an ex-girlfriend of Carl's.
Oh,
they
yes.
dated.
Yes,
Yeah.
They did date.
And I think that's then we're gonna get into the last two.
So Paige and Hannah, and we say Paige and Hannah
season 3.
And we say Paige and Hannah because they both came the same summer and they became fast friends. So they're kind of...
They did the podcast, Giggly Squad, who we did our interview with.
But they are kind of a pair in the house.
Yeah.
Like, anything Paige is going to go through, it's like, it's going to affect Hannah in some way.
Yeah, they are twins.
It's sweet, and there's a codependence there.
Yeah. They'd probably admit that.
Yeah. we told them, we interviewed them, we had a great interview with them, and I said... But we're going to still make fun of you. And Paige was like, please. Totally.
Yeah.
So anyway.
And I will say, Paige comes from upstate New York, kind of sheltered Italian family. So she's going to be kind of exposed to more things than she would normally be.
Yeah, she was Catholic. Although by now, I think she's
had that fucked out of her.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Hannah, and as she said, Hannah calls her a ratchet girl from Brooklyn. She calls herself a ratchet girl from Brooklyn. And Hannah's always trying to get that D whenever she can. And so she's always trying to push her emotions away. She's a sporty girl. She plays tennis. She was like number 5 in the nation at one point, and I think 16. Something just banged in my apartment.
Now I will say
that was.
Because we're talking about work a lot on this show, which is weird because nobody ever talks about their work so much because none of them are ever having to work. But really,
but that's New York. That's New York.
But also, Hannah
is so much of who you are,
of your identity. Hannah and Paige really are kind of more than anybody have turned this show into. Like Hannah now, her main job is podcasting. I will say, Hannah every season, like the first season, she was like, it was something like creative, something.
Viral video creator.
And like it changed every year. But the last 2 years, she's kind of more of a doing Giggly Squad. And she also does, what is that?
Burning in Hell
podcast, where she kind of, that's more of kind of an in-depth, going deep type of podcast with celebs. But Paige is a full-on influencer.
So if you saw the first episode when she had all of her clothes sent there, because that's part of her business now. She has to.
She's really not telling it. She's not telling a lie. Like she actually makes money from that.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, what could we be an influencer, Poodle? What I want to watch that new documentary about influencers. I've heard it's great.
I don't know what I would influence.
That's
lube
fair.
Brands. Lube. I mean,
Boy Butter would say they would have you on for like, or maybe Swiss Army, because I know you like that's
Swiss
your
Navy.
favorite brand. Swiss Navy, whatever.
That's a joke. You
I
know why that's funny, right?
Oh, because it's the Navy. It's
no,
gayer.
No,
it's like
why
Swiss
is it
Army.
funny?
Because it's not Swiss Army, it's Swiss Navy.
Yes, and do you know why it's funny that for a country to have a navy?
Oh, Switzerland doesn't have it. It's a landlocked country. Oh, look at them. That's funny.
And also the name Swiss Army is also ironic because they're a neutral country.
That is ironic. That's funny.
The response is usually not, that is ironic. And then silence. And when you have to explain a joke, it ceases to be funny. Not that it ever was funny. So I should just give up trying to explain things because it always fails. Because you look at me like I'm an alien trying to explain something, and then you're like, so what else are you saying? I'm confused.
I'm just saying that if you were an influencer for Swiss Navy Lube, they would have you on for a month, and then they would have an Instagram post and say, we're out of lube because Jake used all of his free lube. Therefore, he is not going to be advertising for us any longer.
Y'all, come at me, Swiss Navy. I know I'm making a plug, but I swear to God, I would be the brand ambassador.
You can't do this.
I'm actually soliciting at this point. Some good shit.
Wow.
Wow.
So it's July 30th, and they are moving to the house for 6 weeks, y'all. Right? I think we covered everybody, correct? Luke. We didn't talk about
Luke, and we can talk about them when they come, though. Well, let's talk about Luke and Sierra. Why not? So sure. There's only one new cast member this season, one new guest. And Luke has been there before. Luke was kind of had the relationship. He's kind of like the Minnesota kind of Jesus model-y, outdoorsy. He could be sporty with Hannah. He kind of fucked with her head. He's basically tries to seem like he's a sensitive boy, but he's really a fuck boy like Carl.
He is the quote most gorgeous guy in the house. Like his body is insane.
I don't see it. Well, am I weird?
No, his body is insane. He is gorgeous. His personality is the most boring, I think.
Well, I think he
takes himself too seriously.
Yeah, but I feel like like he can make a girl feel really good about herself.
Oh, like, he's a player.
Yeah.
Y'all, we would beg for it.
This is so weird. I don't find him attractive. I keep looking to see what I don't like about him.
Okay, close your eyes.
I know
you would bang him.
I'm standing firm on this. I do not think I would bang him.
So you're telling me
standing firm on it, but I'm standing firm on this principle.
So if you're telling me y'all are in the pool in the summer, the fire is burning, and you're having a drink, and he is he gets up out of the pool and you see water run down his abs and land on the shaft of his naked penis, you wouldn't want to draw it into you like Elizabeth Berkley in Showgirls?
I would, and my lips would go onto his cock. But
that's
what
all
I'm
I
saying,
needed to know.
What I'm saying is I don't want to I don't find him immediately attractive. Like
Same.
I would fuck Kyle before Luke.
Same.
Yeah.
No, I would do Luke because I think Luke has a bigger dick.
Oh, definitely.
Y'all, Luke has a nice dick.
It's a nice dick.
It might be the biggest in the house.
Carl's is nice too, though. It's a nice penis.
But I'm a size queen. I'm gonna let's be honest.
Yeah, Luke's got the biggest dick in the house. You're right. I just don't. There's something. Every time Luke is like, it's like one of those two faces on Seinfeld. You know,
he always looks
in a different light.
Yep.
And a different thing. I'm like, who is this again? Oh, that's Luke.
With the beard, he looks gross. Then he's shaved. And you're like, who is this person? I agree.
And there's a weird. He's kind of got weird stoner eyes all the time going on. Even though I don't know if he's a weed aficionado or not.
I feel like he probably is.
But yeah, I'm just kind of
There's nothing wrong with that. Get your doobie.
No, do what you want to.
Do what you want.
So then there's Sierra, who is Luke's friend, quote unquote friend. They have
very vague. They have hooked up, but they're being very vague about their relationship status.
She's a
gorgeous.
fucking knockout.
She's gorgeous.
She's both a nurse and a model.
She's also the only person in this house who's actually has an education and a real job.
I think some of them have educations.
Not education, but like she went. I'm sorry, let me rephrase it. A lot of them have education, but I mean, like she went to school to do something, and then she has a job.
Yeah,
like
that's not fair to say that she does. That the others don't have real jobs.
They've gotten. Sorry, when they started on the show, like I feel like when people, most people on the show have turned it into something. Like Hannah and Paige were like young. They were younger, and then like in 3 years, they've really turned careers out of the show. Kyle was a fuck boy, and now he's trying to do.
Carl, this is the last time I'm doing this with you. You just need to get it right.
Carl was a fuck boy, and Kyle was just a bro. And then they did the show, and now they're trying to do love.
No. They've always had jobs. They've always.
Did they
had
really?
jobs.
I don't believe it.
I think also she's a traveling nurse. I know because I've fucked traveling nurses. They
traveling nurses are freaky deaky.
Well, that is true, but I just want to say, yes, you go to school, you go to nursing school, you do this, but you do get a lot of time off.
That's true.
So I disagree with you saying she's the only one who's had that. I don't think that's fair.
I just meant like going into the show, the first season, most people have used this show to like build careers, I feel.
But we don't know how long she's been a traveling nurse. She could have been doing something before that. She's also a model. So she's a slash too. They're all slashes.
Go to Vulture to get your facts.
But no, I'm just saying you were on a high horse about it, and it just makes no sense. You can admit when you're wrong. It's fine. He won't. That's the thing.
So yeah, let's keep going.
I will say I will call you out when you say something I don't think is fair. I just will not keep going.
All right. Well, I don't care.
People don't like it when we fight, but I don't give a fuck.
Oh, we're not fighting. That's the point.
No, but
y'all, here's the deal. If you drop a rope with the bitch, they're left holding the rope.
Oh, but no, what you dropping a rope is just standing there quiet.
Dropped.
No, you know what? When you drop that, when you get silence, it's just like, oh, I proved my point. Oh,
what people think in their head is not what needs to happen in my world.
Oh, how brave you are! How brave!
So that's the cast. That is the cast. You know what? It's probably a good time for us to take a little commercial break, and we'll be right back.
That was hateful.
I didn't mean it to be hateful.
Said to me at the break, he's like, "You got to go fuck people," and I'm like, "No, I'm celibate right now." I was shocked that Carl said he hadn't had sex in 3 months. If you look like Carl, you know what? Maybe he's just trying to become a better person. But if you're a straight guy in New York, you can fuck anything. It is a straight man's paradise and a gay guy's paradise.
He probably had to let a few things clear up.
Maybe that's why.
Months. Those warts didn't go away on their own. Because he's hot, but he's a walking petri dish.
Well, he's definitely had a lot. And as we said on Giggly Squad, you know what? We all got HPV. We all had chlamydia at one time.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I got some gonorrhea for some good dick. It was worth it. Just took an antibiotic and it was better.
Don't know if we should make it that easy to...
y'all use condoms. Use condoms. They still are better. Right, Poodle? Use condoms, right?
Next question.
Jesus. At least get on prep.
Yeah, you got to be on prep, though.
All right.
Prep does not treat STIs.
Thank God you can't have babies.
I know. They'd come out all misshapen.
They'd be very drunk when they came out. Okay, let's actually talk about, we just talked about people. Let's talk about so normally y'all, if you watch the show for the first time.
Not really all that happens.
Yeah, the first kind of episode is like, this is everybody. Shits really will start to pick up in the second episode.
Don't pull over, y'all. The street that I live near is very loud today. It's a Friday.
It's a Friday. They're showing up on the Hamptons, and this is kind of indicative of the show. They all show up, and it's like, who's going to get what room? And that's a big deal. They don't divvy them up, and so they have to decide. New house, beautiful house.
It's a new house because this is quarantine, y'all. This was filmed during quarantine, so they're actually having to stay at this house not 24/7, but they're not going back on the weekdays. They're staying at the house. So they're working from home, and I don't know how I'm going to enjoy people watching sitting in desks, working from home, saying, "I need this unit. I need to get on the Lawrence call at 3 p.m." I don't give a shit about that, and I'm kind of annoyed at being seen at showing it.
It did bother me.
I did enjoy. Kyle's like, some of us have different kind of work habits, and Paige and Hannah just sitting in the bed looking at their phones. Because they're both like Paige, especially with influencers, and Hannah's like just creating content or podcasting. So the idea that them just sitting down there is funny.
Well, in podcasting, it can be kind of feast or famine. You can like Jake and I have, if we want time off, like we'll podcast a lot for like 2 weeks and then try to catch up on some things so you can do that more. So it's just a different type of working schedule. And
no, we can't, because our show comes on every fucking week. 50 weeks
but I mean,
fucking year.
I meant other things. Now I will say, was there a quick glimpse of Carl in glasses while he was working, wearing working glasses?
Yeah.
And it suddenly made me think of Carl and nerd porn.
He is so gorgeous to me.
He's beefier. Like his legs look beefier. He just looks more like he's in more fucking shape.
There's something that when you said the word beefier, that my spine just retreats. Like a turtle going back into its shell.
Oh, he's a manly man.
So gross.
Hunk. He's a hunk.
Stop. No one says that word anymore.
No, I'm bringing the word hunk back because people are a hunk. That's a hunk of man. Hunk of man. Ooh.
People are a hunk. So basically, you guys, everyone is coming up there. Paige is dropped off by Perry, her boyfriend.
He is,
and spoiler alert. But it's been in the news. They break up this summer.
We even talked about that on our show. They're not together. Yeah.
So we don't know about Paige's relationship status right now,
and we don't know they're together all of a sudden. We just know that they did break up. Now, Hannah's been with her cat. She's like, I've been with my cats, my parents. I'm horny. Let's fucking do this.
She wants to fuck Luke, basically, because they've been kind of dating. They haven't really been dating. I have a feeling that Hannah thinks they were dating, but Luke would never say that. Because
Luke would never say that. But she was supposed to go to Minnesota over the summer, over last winter, fall, and she did not.
That didn't happen.
Minnesota Noza.
Minnesota.
She didn't go. So they're kind of choosing all the rooms. Everybody gets set up in their rooms and all this. Luke and Sierra aren't here yet. And suddenly there's this kind of Hannah sees Lindsay, and it's very...
She's like, kind of... Hi.
It's kind of like when Poodle's in a gay bar and another intelligent queen walks in the room. He immediately just becomes kind of cold.
A queen in glasses. Who's kind of like looks kind of like Velma from Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. Hackles are raised.
If Velma and I were in the same room, we would have to have a battle royale.
You would.
We're the same type. My hair's not like that.
Smart and slutty. That's it, y'all. Because Velma is a freaky deaky dick pig. Well, maybe
for women. I always
she
thought
might be a pee pig. Yeah,
a pee pig,
pussy.
I don't know if it works the same. I feel like
you say dick pig and pussy pig.
I feel like someone who's after the pussy would be more of a pussy hound.
You're a hound.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, really?
Pig. Yeah, because
what do you call yourself if you're into going after? What do you call yourself?
Pussy hunter. I like pussy hunter.
Ooh, I like pussy hunter.
We're pussy hunters. God damn it! I keep knocking my desk.
You do keep knocking your desk because you can't knock anything else right now.
I can't sit still today. It's a real problem
because you can't sit on anything else today.
I need to take CBD.
You do need to take CBD, but I can't say it anymore.
No, you can't.
You feel like it shames you when I'm just trying to help you. Feel more comfortable.
It seems when you say it to me, it sounds like, darling, have you taken your crazy pill today?
That's what you hear. I hope you never become bipolar because you'll never take your meds ever.
I will forget to take them.
Yeah, you will. So Hannah basically says. She said, Lindsay was not nice to me this winter because, y'all, this is where we start to get in the drama. There was a New Year's Eve party. Lindsay didn't invite her, but she heard that Danielle and Luke hooked up and that Lindsay was trying to get them to hook up.
Yeah, and I liked it when Amanda said, "Can I say something?" And Hannah's like, "We need to talk about something. Can we talk about Lindsay?" And Paige says, "Fuck, we've been here for 10 minutes.
It's been a minute. We've been here 10 minutes."
the shit talking starts happening
really, really quickly, y'all, because previously on the show before, it really is Hannah and Paige, and there was a little bit of a squabble last season with Amanda, but the three of them are good friends.
Yeah,
for the most part. Even though Amanda,
they're also the younger ones in the house. They're the youngest people in the house.
Yeah.
And it's a big age. Kyle especially is always referring to the generational gap between he and the other older people in the house.
Because Kyle's what, fucking 50.
30. He seems like that, but he's 37. So Hannah basically says that Luke called her every day. And they still haven't had sex.
No.
And everyone's freaking out about how good Carl looks because he's basically sober now. He says he's not drinking a lot. His skin looks amazing.
His eyes look brighter. He looks really, really good.
And anyway,
he got his teeth whitened.
I think so.
Yeah.
Luke calls and says, "I'm coming later, but it may be a little bit longer." Basically saying, they're like, "Do you have COVID?" He's like, "Well," but also I've been quarantining with my friend who I'm bringing, so they are coming. So we don't know if it's a girl or a boy. Of course, it's a girl.
Y'all, Hannah has no chill because she gets off the phone and then immediately Paige goes, "Come here!" They just run to like a side room.
Hannah, come here.
She's like, well,
like a dog. Hannah,
call me every day.
Hannah, come here.
You call me every day, Paige. Every day.
They just know each other so well that
Paige knows that she's losing her shit.
She's like, Hannah, come here.
It's the same.
I love to watch their relationship. So Carl, they're talking to Carl, and they just say, "Carl, we want to have a threesome." And he's like, "Yeah." Oh. Anyway, so basically they tell him he looks so good, and we find out that he's been drinking. He's like, I drank because my parents divorced and because I wasn't happy at my job and depression. And he's like, alcohol was my therapist. And what a great realization for someone to make.
Yeah, I mean, and what a horrible place to be in 4 months when you've decided to be sober.
I agree with that.
It's really the worst possible place he could be. But y'all, he makes money from this show. And right now he's working for fucking Kyle, trying to sell iced tea in cans called Lover Boy. So we can see how well that's going to go. He needs money.
So then Lindsay's talking about her Stabby or Steven, I guess. I think they call him Steven because there was gay Steven earlier.
Oh, okay.
So boy, that's why.
The first season, y'all, they had one gay guy the first 2 seasons.
They decided there was no gay drama, and I've been like, you should have hired me. I could be making faces, be pulling faces in the corner room when someone goes up to the pantry. I'm like, girl.
Oh yes,
I bring home gay guys from the club. There'd be enough sex hookup stories.
You would start so much shit between the girls.
Drama. Yeah, I would intentionally treat one like shit the next day and just play one.
The fact that you've never been on a reality show is kind of crazy to me.
It is interesting. Well, I told you I applied for the Real World.
Yeah, but you really should do some more now. You should do Big Brother.
I would either be the first gone, the first ejected, or I'd be there until the last 2.
I'm making you apply for Big Brother because if you got on Big Brother, that would be great for our podcast.
Do you know how much I would hate Big Brother being in there with those people?
What if you won money?
Maybe.
What if you won $1 million?
I think, you know what? I like the challenge, but the people in there, I think I would just hate. I would probably get along with 2 to 3 people, and then everyone else I would just despise. I have a feeling. Like some broy guy would probably call me fag the first week. You know,
I don't think so. I think most people are a little more evolved that are on Big Brother. Maybe not.
Have you watched the show?
They do get some people from.
Yeah.
Which is why you would be good because you're from the South, from South Carolina. But then you know what? You're doing it. You're applying.
Okay.
I've decided I'll apply for you.
I think I would be good TV on it, mostly because I would fight with people. But I think I have a good idea of strategy. I know
such a sense of justice. You would start selling merch that just said it's the principle.
I think I would do okay in the physical challenges because I would do really good in the puzzle challenges. I'm really good at puzzles. So now I want to be on Big Brother, you whore. Anyway, so Lindsay's there with Steven. Did you see her crazy timeline of like, so then we're going to get married and then like, we're going to have a baby and then I'm pregnant with my second child. And
it was planned down to not the years. It was planned down to months.
Yeah.
Y'all, this is not a good way to attack life. It's good to make plans with somebody and that you see a future with them. And not that and I understand for women, especially that want to have a child, if your biological clock is ticking. So don't come at me and say, you don't understand what it's like when you've got time. I do. I understand that because I've had a lot of friends that have gone with it and cried on my shoulder about it. But I'm just saying though, knowing Lindsay and this kind of rigidity of what her life is going to be, just is setting herself up for disappointment.
I seriously doubt she has talked over this timeline with Steven.
I don't think so. I honestly wish she would talk over her makeup base foundation.
I knew you were going to have a problem with that.
It's so fucking yellow, and it doesn't blend into the rest of her face. It looks
the scene
she's a pretty woman
talking to Hannah.
Oh my God. It looked like Hannah. I thought Hannah was having a conversation about Big Bird with Big Bird. It was just
she
like.
She doesn't blend her makeup either. It's really bad.
Her makeup's been better in the past. It's just, Hannah, this foundation you bought for this new season, someone at Sephora or at Ulta.
Lindsay.
Sorry. Hannah I was thinking about Hannah. Lindsay, your Sephora salesperson fucked you over.
Yeah. And it's so interesting. It feels like we're going back to the first season of the twins, of the Workus twins and their makeup.
I did enjoy it. They were boring, but I also kind of enjoyed the twins for their craziness.
So
yeah. So anyway, so there's kind of this coldness between, and they don't know what's happening. So that's they basically. Well, we should wrap up. Paige and Hannah tell Carl. They say, "Look, if you need us for here, don't feel like you have to drink. We're here for you. Like we'll totally support you." And so then they have dinner that night. Luke still isn't here yet, and they're all sitting down to dinner. And Hannah just brings up, she's like, they're talking about what they had done this winter and how quarantine was for them. And they were like, oh my God, you're stuck in the house with the same person for 21 weeks. Blah, 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 blah. And it's so. And then Hannah's like, listen, Lindsay.
You were cold to me this summer. You were
she's
mean.
Like,
you were not nice to me this winter. Sorry.
I didn't see you this winter because you didn't invite me. And Amanda even jumps it because Amanda's always going to put her nose into shit that's none of her business, but she's always going to pretend. Exactly.
That's the shade button. Yeah. Amanda will always do that. Yeah.
Amanda's like, it's like Amanda's the queen of like passive aggressive inserting herself, where she said,
is. Yeah.
I just feel like your mood changed when Hannah walked into the house.
She's like me. She's got a sense of justice that she needs to equalize everything with everybody there. It's her mothering instinct.
It is her mothering. Yeah, it's her codependent. Lindsay's basically like, well, she kind of says that Hannah talks shit about her on a podcast.
He's like, because you were talking shit about me on a podcast. And I'm sure that's true. You know.
And then Lindsay goes into this monologue that is kind of like where she's talking about what actually happened. Because Hannah said that Lindsay treats her like a minion. And Lindsay goes, this is in her like testimonial to the camera, and she says, well, I didn't, she talked shit about me on that podcast. She said I was like, shit, like falsities, false. And I'm wearing falsies. I'm kidding. I have tits. I did not treat her like a, whoa, hey, dick, minion. And I don't know what the fuck happened.
And then it was like time lapse, but like her. So obviously she's got a lot of rage about Hannah talking about her. Y'all. And
what do you think this comes from, Poodle, for Lindsay?
That Hannah's getting more exposure than Lindsay is. And Lindsay started the show. And it's the same issue that Kyle has with Hannah and Paige. That
ding, 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 ding.
They're getting more exposure than the quote stars of the show.
Yeah.
That's the kind of meta angle we think that's there.
Yeah, I did, because y'all, as we see from that timeline, Lindsay likes to have control.
Basically, the next thing is Hannah is, what does that even say?
Is that when Hannah said basically, people in New York were telling me you were trying to get Danielle and Luke together?
Right. And Lindsay denies that, which is interesting.
She denies it. And then Danielle says,
sorry, it happened.
Sorry, I made out with Luke.
Danielle's a slut, y'all. I love Danielle.
Love her. I love her.
Slut. Danielle's a slut.
Your
Lindsay's
mom's a slut. You're all sluts. We're all sluts.
Yeah.
Get it.
So Lindsay just gets up and walks away from the table, and they're like, no, don't do this. Don't walk out angry. Because Lindsay's big reputation is like a fighter where she'll come in the room, then she'll leave. And y'all, if you're in a relationship with someone like that, it can be very challenging because they just want to say their piece and get the last word and walk. You need to demand time with that person. What are you doing? I don't know what this is.
Y'all, this is Don't Walk Away. Don't Walk Away by Jade. Remember that song? Oh,
don't walk
song.
Away, boy.
Anyway.
Reality Gates does not own this song, nor do we own any of the things associated with it.
Not at all. Not at all.
So they are, everyone's...
Well, we will say Danielle said that Luke and her kissed, and then he pulled away and said he's not fully, he's still he's still into an ex. We don't know who the ex is. We don't know what he's talking about, but that's what he said to her.
Then the next day, we're seeing them work, which, God, that's going to piss the fuck out of me. I can't watch footage of them being on conference calls. That's not why I watch the show.
I think it's going to show that for like 2 minutes, and it's transitions each episode, and that's it. All you're going to get.
That's what I prefer. Anyway, so Paige and Hannah and Amanda are out at the pool, and they're talking about Paige quarantining with Perry, her boyfriend at the time, and she's like, "Yeah, it wasn't fun." She's like, "I'm kind of like, do I want to get married? We broke up twice because of having to live with someone else." And she asked Amanda, "Have you ever had doubts?" She's like, "Oh no, I've always known that I don't have any doubts that I want to marry Kyle." So, because I think they are. I think they're in game in that way.
I do think that. I think that.
And of course, Luke FaceTimes Hannah because he has to keep her on the line.
Yep.
And he's like, "I'm bringing a friend. And you can just see Hannah. She's like, "Oh, it's so good to talk." Oh, she still has feelings for him.
Y'all, she's she even walked away. Hannah is trying to play it cool. And
she's the worst at it. She'd probably admit that.
Not good at playing it cool. Not good at all. Then Carl goes to bed at 9:45, and my penis fell down.
I think because he had to work the next day.
I know, but I'm just like, I kind of like you. I'm like, oh, but Carl, who would be out all night. It's just a different show.
I'm kind of into it. He's so hot to me. Oh,
you just said you don't want to see people work. And now that Carl went to bed early for work, you're like, I'm into it. You know what? You have to judge people fairly if you're going to podcast about this show. We can't just give everybody.
Don't you tell me what I can't
give everybody. You can't get everybody coq blanche. You've got to.
So you mean I should be disappointed because he went to bed at 9:30? It's lame. You're right. It's lame.
Not the point of this show. So anyway, so they all get up early and they work. Boring. Whereas Paige and Hannah are kind of hanging out. And then we see Paige gets like this whole truckload of clothes. That's all of her Instagram clothes that's coming. So, okay, we get it. They're all working. They all have jobs. And so then we get the pool. We talked about that. Y'all, now it's Friday. And it's Friday. Nobody has to work anymore. So we're going to make homemade pizzas, Poodle.
They're making pizzas on the little oven that they're trying to do. I guess they've had, and Hannah's a disaster, spilling cheese everywhere. I would not want Hannah in my kitchen. I will tell you, she would need to be outside drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. And finally, Lindsay
it's probably good food, but she would end up like feeding it to you and then fucking you and then leaving a mess of your kitchen and going
exactly.
Home.
Yeah. Lindsay finally just pulls Hannah away to talk and says, and then
actually, did Lindsay pull Hannah? I thought Hannah pulled Lindsay.
You're right. I'm so sorry. I had that ordered wrong. And then
because I'll tell you now, Lindsay was not ready to talk.
No, and she's like, "Well, you're still. So I'm sorry, but you're still going on podcast talking shit about me." And then Hannah says, "You've been fake with me." So Lindsay, she denies that she's tried to get them, the Danielle and Luke, to hook up, and Hannah says, "Okay, fine. Let's start over." This is the scene where Lindsay looks like she has jaundice.
It really is like, y'all. It's like Big Bird has a stick up his ass and he's pissed because Lindsay. I will say Hannah, and I'm really trying to be impartial. I know we just had Hannah and Paige on our show. And we had a good time, but I will call them out if I feel like they're wrong. But I feel like Hannah actually. Hannah is apologizing and saying what she kind of fucked up on. Lindsay is not. Either Lindsay really didn't do anything wrong or Lindsay is not going to apologize.
I think she's not going to apologize.
Do you think Lindsay did anything wrong or no?
I think she has animosity towards Hannah that she's not being honest with her about.
And she can't say what it's really about.
Yep.
She can say like, I'm jealous. I can treat you cold, but she's not going to say I'm jealous of you because you have more success than me.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think Lindsay's very successful as a publicist. I just think she wants notoriety.
She's very successful as a publicist. Yes, but she wants,
because you guys, that's a special type of success, of getting recognized, of having many more followers that people seem to want. We don't want that.
We don't know that.
I kind of want hot guys to slide in my DMs. That's the only reason I want that.
You know what? I want that for you. I don't want you to be famous, but I do hope guys just send you dick pics that want to fuck you.
That
Good
I
for
want.
you.
That I want.
Good
That's the only side of fame that I want.
Good for you. You know what? I'm going to pray for that.
But you know what? I do like people saying, your podcast really brightened my day, or you guys that keep me. Quarantine. That's feeding my soul. Because
we need to feed your ass.
Thank you for that.
You know what? I will support you in that.
Anyway, so
I don't need to be an influencer because Poodle will say something eventually that'll take me down anyway. So I might as well just keep my anonymity.
Ride it out. So then they're making drinks. They're playing games because they can't go out.
This is so weird.
This is so weird, like,
right?
What the fuck?
It's like Brady Bunch Summer House. Like what? They're playing fucking.
Are they going to play Never Have I Ever?
Oh, yes. They're going to play that. They're going to play Spin the Bottle. They're going to play all this stupid shit that we played in high school.
So anyway,
Jake and I wanted to play in high school, but we didn't want to kiss girls. We wanted to kiss boys.
That's the truth. 7
Maddie, come
boy.
play Spin the Bottle.
Oh, I can't. My mama, I think I might have a cold. I don't want to get anybody sick.
You have to kiss Billy. It's a joke.
Oh.
Okay. I'm never going to kiss Billy. I'm never going to kiss Billy. Kiss me, Billy. Kiss me.
Billy, please.
The closet door opens and Billy's running out, and I just have my pants down around my legs. I shat on myself because I was so nervous, and I'm just holding on to his tennis shoe. Just by myself.
That's real. Because
that's real. Oh, yeah.
So, y'all, they're playing the games, and Luke and Sierra arrive. And Hannah's like, oh, my God. You see her just so shocked. And the first thing she does is she goes to hug Luke, but her face is kind of like, then she is trying her hardest. They call her, she's being a bit of a try-hard. She's trying not to act like she's jealous. She's like, it's so good to see you. Oh, let me show you. Let me go on a tour of your house. I love you already. I think we're going to be best friends. Did I tell you I'm not jealous?
You are so Hannah.
I would. I'm a try-hard.
When you're jealous, you would do that.
Oh, I would.
Because what is the best revenge, y'all? Showing up to an event or a party or a house with someone who's gorgeous.
Oh, totally. And you know what? The only way to contradict that is saying, oh my God, you're gorgeous. Be my new best friend.
And Jake would do probably what Hannah's trying to do. Bond with him and become friends with him. So then I can
turn them against the guy.
Turn them against Luke.
Mm-hmm. That's what I do in a second.
Do you think Hannah will do that?
She'll try.
I think she might try too. I hope she does. It'll be good TV.
So,
anyway, I mean, Hannah does kind of like.
No, you know what? Hannah's emotions are going to get the best of her.
That's true. Yeah.
This bitch, you would not see a crack. You would not see a crack the whole time. I might cry at my sleep, and I might drink a little much, but you would not see me crack.
Can you imagine what? Or did you even when Hannah hugged Luke? Did you even see how she hugged him? She couldn't help herself.
Oh, yeah.
She gave him a hug and she smelled him. Y'all, if someone gives you a hug and they smell you, they want to fuck you.
She was really emotionally connected. She was emotionally connected to him in a way that probably that she hadn't been with a lot of other guys. She didn't really get emotionally connected. And spoiler alert, she is dating a man, that's because it's everywhere. She's dating a man who's 15 years older than her right now because this was filmed last summer.
Yeah, she's very happy now.
And so she's moved past that, but I guarantee you we're going to see Hannah go through it this summer. Yeah.
Well, maybe it'll be what teaches her, because Hannah's been in a good way. She's like, I'm young, I'm single, I'm not going to commit to anybody. And maybe this realized that she was ready for some commitment.
Yep. Maybe. So anyway, Sierra's gorgeous. Sierra basically says she fits in pretty good. She's like, it's good to be here. She's like, let's cheers to this summer. Let's fuck these boys up.
Oh,
I love it. That's what I would say. Let's fuck these boys. Let's fuck with these boys' heads.
You know what? If I was a new girl in the house, I would. I'd want to like fuck Kyle. I would just want to blow it up, blow it all up.
Y'all, I will tell you, straight men's brains are the easiest to scramble.
Oh, yes.
It's not hard.
Not hard.
Yeah. They're just they're an inferior species to women.
Because Sierra seems smart.
Inferior species to women.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Sierra seems smart because
playing on a whole different level.
And Jules was stupid. Jules tried to start shit, but she's dumb.
She just couldn't fit in. No, and I think she tried too hard too. She was a real try-harder.
Whereas Sierra, she's kind of the perfect amalgamation to fuck shit up because she's beautiful, she's smart, and she also seems like she doesn't care about how she's perceived.
By the end of the episode, the girls have separated and the guys are together because it's basically the guys who want to get all the 411 in on Sierra.
And Luke.
And he's
still dodging questions.
The girls are like, yay, Sierra, we're all trying to act like we're your best friends, but we're still trying to figure you out and see if you're going to plunge a knife into us.
Exactly. Isn't that like such a anthropological study? Like the guys are totally asking.
Uh-huh.
And then the women are like,
they're trying to be best friends because for the kind of the good of the house, but they're having all kinds of secret thoughts.
And at the end, we don't know. It's kind of vague. Like, is Luke texted Hannah.
Hannah says, hey, burn dog. It's going to be so good spending the whole summer with you. Text Sierra the same thing.
And cameraman pan out on a big box of condoms. And
Chef's kiss camera.
Mitch, that camera operator, good for you, Mitch. Good for you.
A big box of condoms, by the way.
Big box of condoms. Poodle hasn't seen that since
like 64 condoms.
Yeah. A lot. Y'all, that's a show. That's all we got.
A lot of sex. I make it unless I'm buying in bulk from Amazon, if you buy a huge box of condoms, you are getting ahead of your skis. You need to. No, I'm saying, you know what that expression means, right?
No.
Really? It means
ahead of your skis?
You're getting out ahead of yourself. It means you're thinking something will happen.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. He is.
Yeah. Y'all, buy a medium package of condoms.
No, buy a big pack. Because what if you need some more? It's better to have more than have less.
You're not understanding what I'm saying.
I understand, but the practicality, you get more in the economy box. And what if you're fucking more? Sometimes the way the universe works, if you buy a jumbo box of condoms, you will get no game for that's fair.
months.
That's karma.
That's what I'm talking about. That's
true. But you can't share condoms when the defensive line decides to fuck you and you're in the middle of a football field and you don't know what's up.
Who ever heard of condoms?
Yeah. Touchdown. Anyway, y'all. Not that we're speaking from experience. Yo, that's reality gaze. Reality gaze.
Straight people.
Talking about Summer House.
Let's talk about sexual health, please.
Yeah. Again, if you want facts or sexual health, go to Vulture.
You pay for it now.
You do. Don't go to Vulture.
I went ahead and bought it because I like the recaps. So y'all, that's Reality Gaze. You can find us at realitygazepodcast.com, on Insta at Reality Gaze Pod. I think on Insta is Reality Gaze Podcast, and then on Twitter as Reality Gaze Pod.
And be sure to check out, if you haven't, our interview with Paige and Hannah. And y'all, we just dropped at the Giggly Squad. We dropped an interview with them this week on Monday. So I think this episode
is a really long episode with them, and we had a blast. We loved their segments.
It's dropping on Monday. So this episode's dropping on Friday, y'all. And so today it's going to drop on the 5th, and we drop with them on Monday.
Good blowjob.
Yeah.
We talk about clitoral massagers.
Yep. Because they want advice questions. So yeah, and we also talk a little bit about their own personal love lives and a little bit of tea from the show about what we can. So anyway,
what's the sign off for this?
We don't have one, y'all.
Lover boy, hello, lover boy.
I don't want to promote that.
You're right.
Brand. But I appreciate that effort, and that was that was very close.
Shut up. Don't talk down to me.
No, I mean it. I mean, you know what? Maybe we can just end this show with, and fuck us.
That's it. Not call me, but Carl fuck me.
Carl fuck us.
Fuck me, Carl.